I was directed to another Frank Turek video, this time of him talking to an audience member on how to deal with atheists. Let's check it out.
How do you concisely show an atheist or agnostic that they hold beliefs as well? So a lot of times they just say that you just have beliefs and I don't have those beliefs. But how do you concisely, just in one statement, show them that they actually hold beliefs and that those beliefs are blind faith?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Not all atheists are materialists, the philosophical thought that only the physical or material world exists. Or, as the prophet says, oh. Anyway, some atheists do believe in a supernatural realm and accept the existence of some things on blind faith. It's true that most don't, but the only common denominator that atheists share is a lack of belief in a divine creator being.
Well, you'd have to be on some sort of topic like, do you believe, I might ask them, do you believe there's an immaterial realm, or do you believe everything's just made of molecules? I would just ask that question.
To start with, why are you using molecules? Wouldn't you want to use a more basic form of matter? Molecules are collections of elements, which are in turn made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Then you get into things like quarks, leptons, and bosons, and even hypothetical vibrating strings. So no, not everything is made up of molecules. Those molecules are made up of even smaller things. And who knows what future discoveries physics will make about the nature of the universe and matter.
If they say everything's just made of molecules, I would ask them, is that statement that you just made of molecules?
Well, a statement, like any thought, starts in the brain. It's an electrochemical reaction that produces the thought. Then, if I want to communicate that thought, the brain, through a series of different chemical reactions, will cause the body produce sound waves through the larynx. This will in turn cause a vibration through a medium, in this case the air, that will travel outwards away from the body. If anything is close enough to pick up those vibrations, usually a human ear, or in this case, the microphone I'm using to record this, it will process those vibrations. When another human finally picks up the vibrations that make up any statement I make, it'll take those vibrations and translate them into sound. If both the speaker and listener share a common language, then those sounds will be treated as a statement, understood by the chemical reaction composition of the listener's brain. So yes, statements are created, transmitted, and understood through purely physical means.
So just trying to, again, like you said yesterday, flip the question on them.
So don't answer it, just flip it, I guess. Gotcha. I'm sorry. I should take this more seriously and not be so flippant.
Yeah, because everybody, even though they may claim that everything's made of molecules, they don't live like that.
No. Like I said, things are made up of even simpler forms of matter and energy than just molecules. I live like there's no metaphysical spiritual realm, and that my actions are based solely on physical laws, actions, and reactions, since I don't have any evidence for any immaterial realm.
Because they don't think, for example, their spouse or their children are just a bag of chemicals. Right? They think that they're special human beings.
I can still think my family and friends are special without believing they have some ineffable spiritual quality. Special is a subjective term. The people I care about are special to me because of the emotional bonds that we've created. I love my family and friends. I know my life is better because these people are in it, not because they are more than just a collection of chemical reactions.
And they believe in love. In fact, in one of the debates I had with Christopher Hitchens, someone from the audience asked Christopher, what is love? What is it ontologically? In other words, how would you describe love? And Hitchens finally had to admit that according to him, love was a chemical. That it caused you to act in a certain way towards somebody else.
Love is not a chemical in the brain, it's several chemicals in the brain. Multiple chemicals, such as dopamine and oxytocin, can affect the brain, and this is what causes the feeling of love. It's an evolved trait. Feeling love towards somebody will help you care for and protect them. Our ancestors that loved those around them work together better for the good of the family and the local group, helping them thrive.
And I said, go home and tell that to your wife, right? I just got the chemical today, honey.
Sure, I'll give that a shot. Sweetie, thoughts of you are flooding my brain with chemicals, causing the euphoric feeling of love.
Aw, and my brain is drowning with dopamine and oxytocin for you right now as my genital circulation increases.
Damn, it's good to be married to a biologist. Well, speaking of chemicals, better pop one of these. Okay, let's finish this recording before these start taking effect.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
And if that's the case, if you think about this, if love is just a chemical, then how can you hold anybody responsible for anything? In fact, if we're not moral creatures that make moral choices, how can we hold anybody morally accountable for everything they do?
Yes, I do hold people morally accountable for what they do. Since I believe in the harm principle, if an action causes harm without any corresponding good, then I don't think it's morally acceptable. If somebody acts in such a way that harms somebody else, they should be stopped, and, if harmful enough, should be punished and hopefully rehabilitated.
I mean, Hitler just had bad molecules, right?
Yeah.
According to that theory of materialism.
Yes, the chemical composition of Hitler's brain made him think that genocide was a good idea, and also gave him the drive to take over his country, which resulted in some of the most horrific actions in human history. The majority of us have evolved empathy, the ability to comprehend others' pain. We don't like to be harmed, so we can understand that others would not want to be harmed as well, and we should take actions to reduce the suffering of others. We can hold people responsible for their actions, even when those actions are a result of chemicals in their brains. Sweetie, the pill seems to be doing its job. Thanks, chemicals.